started to make an impact offensively as of late. This game was originally slated for December 30th, the day before New Year's Eve. It got postponed.
Well, Iowa head coach Lisa Bluter said, hey, everything has to be on an adjustable mindset. We had to fly in, no complaints.
Giving them 10 on the year as Caitlin Clark's first shot is off.
Well, Penn State is playing Iowa in a 2-3 zone as expected, but they have to get out and close out on Caitlin Clark on the three. They have really done a good job of increasing their defensive energy. Last year as a Sweet 16 team, one of 4 from the Big Ten Conference, they were not getting it done on the defensive end. Well, what's happening right now is just what Carolyn Keeger wanted to happen. She wanted Iowa to take those mid-range shots. No layups, no threes, but we'll give you the mid-range.
And Camden. We just need to be mature as a team because everybody's dealing with it.
Absolutely, and the training staff, they all are aware of it in terms of recovery.
Warnock at the elbow.
Right there at the elbow is where they need to continue to attack Iowa. They're not going to settle for those threes.
She has scored 30 points a couple different times this year. If Marisa, who scores right there, can get 31 points, she will pass the 1,000-point mark in her career.
Well, she has 11 plus 20-point games this season and 7 plus 25 games this year. Came into this one with 969 points.
Monica Sinano underneath. Great move. Shea Hagans gets the rebound and gets the layup.
So does the team. So it's good to see her off to a hot start for Penn State.
And a quick possession there for Iowa. Great passing to feed Sinano, who's up to 6 points.
Right on the precipice of eclipsing 1,000 points for her career. So she is really intentional with what she knows her role is for Penn State on the offensive end.
8 score in the country, I should say. Meanwhile, freshman Addison O'Grady checks in and makes an immediate impact. There's Marisa off to a great start, already 3 field goals.
And not let her get a touch. That's the best way to play defense on McKenna Marisa because she doesn't take any time on her release.
Lot of inside action for the Hawkeyes on offense, and this is a chance for Warnock to make a 3-point play.
You don't have to settle for outside shots against a zone. Take hard cuts from the weak side, and she's going to have to manufacture some offense from the line by drawing that set contact.
Kylie Feuerbach steps in off a nice game, 10 points the last time she played.
Mama hen of the team. She does anything on and off the floor to help her teammates, and that's that selflessness that makes her the glue.
5 assists already, and her team comfortably up by a dozen.
As we said, she leads the conference in assists with 7.5 a game as Penn State in that zone. That was a tough decision.
Marisa splitting Hawkeye defenders. McKenna Marisa off
McKenna Marisa.
She had 32 points, 17 in the 4th quarter alone.
That's what I'm saying. It can become an avalanche.
Here's the last possession.
Well, right here, she missed that. She missed that last shot, but on the previous possession, she got that 3 ball to fall.
Allie Brigham, great board, barely had to leave her feet for the putback. She said you can just feel a difference. In fact, when I asked Lisa Bluter about the fact that she's starting to actually hit her threes the last few games, she cut me off and goes, shh, 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 just don't. Meanwhile, as Caitlin Clark's only 1 of 7 from the floor, and the Nittany Lions are down just 3 points after Tova Sable hits a 3-point shot.
And that's why the percentages are higher at home for Penn State this season. They understand that.
Quick catch and shot from Monica Sinano.
Love to find her, even if it's not a great pass, terms of placement, she finds a way to gather it in.
There's a reason Czinano shoots 64% from the floor.
And maybe show some junk, maybe show some zone as well.
McKenna Marisa wants it. That's why she's up to 17 in the first half alone. And Penn State will have another shot to cut it down to a one-possession game. Leilani Campanus has that shot, and it's good. She'll go to the line.
Well, that is a universal reaction to a turnover like that from every coach in basketball. I mean, you just can't have that.
What sweet shooting from deep for the Hawkeyes. They are now 6 of 11 from deep. That's 55%. Leilani Campanus with a quick answer inside.
We're not going to try to slow the pace down. We want to push tempo and get quick offense on the other side as well.
Caitlin Clark from deep. Putting up these kind of numbers this year.
Absolutely. And Lisa Bluter was looking for some wood to knock on too when you were talking to her about that topic.
A 3 in rhythm for Gabby Marshall.
And that's what you have to know about Iowa. You have to get back. You can't just run deep into the paint because you know they're looking for those transition threes.
Tova Sable with a putback, and they needed that. They could not afford a one and done after that little run Iowa's been on, which is not over yet. Addison O'Grady inside, and guess who dished it to her?
Hoping that's nothing serious for McKenna Warnock.
Caitlin Clark manufacturing points. She's up to double digits.
She just makes great decisions, keeping her dribble, but at the same time surveying and making the proper choices for her team.
Kelly Jaycott, a three-pointer. She's the leading three-point shooter in terms of percentage on her team.
2 ACL injuries, and Coach Keeger asked her, do you want to go through that recovery and come back? And she wanted that challenge. It's good to see her back.
Another 3. The Hawkeyes are red hot from deep.
Martin could have probably just pulled that. She put it on the ground, made it more difficult.
Anna Camden, a deep three-pointer.
Been tough for Iowa when they've been trying to get the ball inside. They're sitting straight behind on Czinano.
Even her coach said her addiction to playing defense and her effort is something that's really rare from someone in their first year playing college ball. McKenna Warnock.
Well, how about the possession-saving offensive rebound that she just went through the mud and 3 Penn State players to get.
Rebound, Kate Martin. Marshall no good. Another opportunity for Warnock. What a third quarter for her.
The worst. It's not an F.
Right.
But if we can be a C on defense, that's good stuff.
And let's not be hyperbolic. They were factually the worst as they draw a foul there with Kylie Feuerbach will head to the line.
She said, hey, be great at 3 things. You can't be great at everything, but you can choose 3 things to be great at, and Iowa's doing that.
Kenna Marisa is great at scoring. She now has 20 points on the day. That is her 12th 20-point performance this season. Beautiful passing by the Hawkeyes as Czinano gets the bucket. Tova Sable was screaming to get the ball as she had a wide open look at 3, but Clark has the rebound, and oh, what a pass inside. The bounce goes Feuerbach's way. Campanus with the board, Hagens with the ball. She heard you, but a nice block by the Hawkeyes. Kate Martin.
Trying to figure out how to free their players up in that kind of defensive scheme.
Caitlin Clark from the logo! What can Caitlin Clark do? A chance to cut into this 19-point deficit. Kelly Jaycott.
Well, it's good to see her trying to turn the corner physically and trusting her body, returning after 2 ACL injuries, and the love of the game calling her back.
Man, oh man, what crisp passing by Caitlin Clark. Her 3rd 20-point game of the year.
She's just so quick to see things, and not only to see it, but to execute it.
thought they were calling a double dribble on Clark, but
that's what I saw.
man, oh man, McKenna Warnock. Her career high is 23. She's just tied it. They ended up putting a foul on Kelly Jaycott. That's what that whistle was about 20 seconds ago. McKenna Marisa splitting the defense. Czinano inside and the whistle.
She has to just be consistent with that, and I think that's what the discussion right there between coach and player was for Penn State.
Czinano inside. She's having a great game. A strong third quarter. She started that third quarter with 8 points in the first 2.5 minutes, and Czinano inside bullies her way to 2 more.
Well, it looked like Monica Czinano led with the basketball. You could hear the fans there at Bryce Jordan Arena trying to get a charge call. Spreading the floor, making it really difficult, and spreading out that zone so that they can create places to attack. Penn State sitting straight behind, but when they're sitting straight behind, it's great offense by Czinano, who's sitting right in front of the rim, making the shots that they were in that second quarter when Penn State scored those 30 points. And give credit to Iowa in that regard defensively.
Caitlin Clark was like, well, I don't have 20 points yet. Let's change that in one shot.
They trust her to make that shot, and you love to see it.
She's hit 10 3-pointers the last 3 games as she picks up her 16th assist.
Getting her rhythm back, and it's showing itself in games.
Well, nice pass there to give the Hawkeyes 92 points. They'd already passed the 80-point threshold when the fourth quarter began, and they're undefeated, 10-0 on the season when they've hit that mark. Tova Sable is at least doing her best
about her team's overall success and setting them up.
And everyone notices what she's doing. Clark tries to steal it from Kapanis. Again, almost steals it from Jaycott.
Just a phenomenal high-volume scorer for Penn State. McKenna Marisa 1 point away from 1,000.
Clark with the dish and the record. Caitlin Clark. Nobody in the history of the conference has had more assists.
Well, you said the key word right there, consistency. Consistency, that's what it is. Can you be efficient? Can you be consistent? And Carolyn Keeker said we didn't play our best basketball. They were trying to get back on the right track, and you saw that in the second quarter. But you just have to be able to sustain that effort, and that's what they're going to continue to work on in practice.
To have that one back. They had 18 turnovers in that one. They're up to 16 in this game. Hawkeyes now up to 103 points.
And they have just been a machine on the offensive end, the way they've been clicking with their rhythm.
32 points for McKenna Marisa, making half of the shots she throws up.
Tybo did the massive hezzy on the other side, though. Had the whole bench up on the road, and if you're Iowa, it's what you want to do is win your road games in conference.
Great milestone for Marisa. We mentioned that her coach wants her to get a little more contact, get to the free throw line more often. She did in this game, 14 trips to the line. She made 12 of them, but Penn State will have to wait longer to get a win against the Hawkeyes. They haven't done it since January of 2017. That's now 6 straight losses. We'll take a short break and come back with more from State College as the Hawkeyes win.